Hi, I'm Natalie, and today I'm going to show you how to administer the Independent Living Scales Assessment. For this assessment, you will need the manual, the stimulus booklet, a record form, perforated pages from the record form, a pouch with the driver's license, credit card, and key, which these are all included in the test kit. Additionally, you will also need a stopwatch, scratch paper, pencil and pen, 6 quarters, 5 dimes, 5 pennies, 4 nickels, a telephone, $10 bill, a telephone book, and an envelope. Okay, Marty, I would like for you to please read this out loud.
CJA 4925.
Now read this out loud.
What time does the evening news begin?
Well, I'm going to stand behind you and read a sentence out loud. I want you to say the sentence back to me. Many people read the newspaper daily.
Many people read the newspaper daily.
I would like for you to please sign your name on this piece of paper. And can you please write this sentence on your scratch paper? Now I'd like for you to stand up and walk forward about 6 feet. Then please turn around and walk back to your chair and sit down. So some of the following questions are going to be easy, and some are going to be a little bit more difficult. No one answers all of them correctly. I want you to answer that the best you can. Just tell me what you think. When you're answering, assume that you live alone in the community. Sometimes I'll say that you should assume you live in an apartment or a house, but in general, imagine when you answer that you're currently living alone.
Okay.
Okay. What time does this clock show?
2:20.
What day of the week is today?
Monday.
Let's suppose you're going to the store. I'm going to show you a shopping list. After I present this list, tell me what you need to buy at the store. Okay. So now I'd like for you to tell me what you need to buy at the store.
Orange juice, cereal, milk, coffee, bread.
Okay. Now I want you to remember that you have an appointment to see a new doctor, Dr. Thomas, on Tuesday at 3 p.m. I want you to recall the doctor's name and the day and time of the appointment when I ask you later. So please repeat this.
Dr. Thomas, Tuesday, 3 p.m.
Okay. How are you supported financially?
I work at the airport, full-time.
Okay. So I have some change here. What I want you to do is count out $1.39.
Vocally?
No, but you can just count it and let me see that you
Alright.
counted it. So suppose you bought a dozen eggs for $1.19. If you gave the clerk $5, how much change should you receive? You can use this piece of scratch paper and the pen to figure it out.
I would get $3.81 back in change.
Okay. Do you usually use checks or money orders to pay bills?
Checks.
Okay. Alright, so here I have a couple blank checks. I would like you to look at this Social Security check for $320. Oh, what I want you to do is write this amount, $320.75, on your scratch paper as your beginning balance.
Okay.
Now, we are going to make a check out to this telephone company for the bill listed on there, and you will use one of these checks. Here's a pencil.
Fill it out.
Yep, write it out as if you were writing a check to the state telephone company.
All right.
Okay. Now, please tell me what you remember about the appointment with the doctor.
I have an appointment with new Dr. Thomas on Tuesday at 3 p.m.
Okay. Now, let's suppose you received a medical bill. Oh, you can use your scratch paper and a pen this time. Suppose you receive a medical bill for $350. If your medical insurance pays 80% of this bill, how much do you owe? Again, you can use the scratch paper to figure this out.
I would owe $70 instead of $350.
How would you go about getting repairs made to your home?
I would call the maintenance person at the apartment complex if I wasn't able to fix them myself.
Okay. What would you do if your home was always very hot or very cold?
I would call a repairman for either one of the issues, to either warm the house up if it was too cold or cool it down if it was too warm.
What are 2 routine tasks that you do at home, but less often than every day?
Take out the garbage down to the parking lot, 'cause that's a brute of a walk, and vacuum.
Okay. What information can you get from a bus schedule?
The routes that each bus line might take and what time they'll be at each location.
How would you find out how much it costs to ride the bus?
I would look online or look for a phone number in the telephone book for the rate.
Let's say you called a cab to take you someplace. What would you do if the cab didn't come and it was getting late?
I would either call the cab company that I booked with to ask them where they are, or call another cab company to take me where I needed to go.
I have an envelope here. Can you please address it to someone you know and write all the necessary information that you would to send out?
Okay.
Alright, thank you. Now, if you didn't have a regular doctor and you needed medical help quickly, how could you get it?
I would go to urgent care first, and if they weren't able to help me, then the emergency room or hospital.
Okay. Now suppose you were outside in your yard and you saw or you smelled smoke coming out of your kitchen window, what would you do?
Myself personally, I would investigate a little bit, and if it was so severe where wasn't able to get in, I would call 911 first, and then probably call 911 first, and then kind of investigate if it's not too dangerous, make sure my neighbors and stuff are safe.
Okay. What are 2 precautions you can take to protect yourself when going out at night?
I could have a weapon on me. I get my concealed weapons permit, or I could just make sure I have a cell phone and vigilant on who's around me.
Okay. If you accidentally cut your hand and it was bleeding badly, what would you do?
I would clean it out, see the severity of it, and if it wasn't something that I felt would be able to be healed on its own, I would go to the urgent care hospital for stitches.
Okay. Let's suppose you have to take medication 3 times a day. How would you remember when to take it?
Would use one of those handy dandy pill organizers or have on my calendar what
Okay.
times I need to take the pills.
Okay. Now, use a scale that I'm showing you here to rate this statement. 1 means you agree with it, 2 means you somewhat agree with it, or 3 do not agree, disagree. So let's try the first one. I look forward to tomorrow.
I agree. 1.
Okay. How about this? I always feel down.
3. I disagree with that.
I often think of killing myself.
Disagree. 3.
Okay. How often do you talk to a friend?
Daily.
And how often do you see this friend?
On occasion.
Okay, thank you. That concludes our test.
Thank you.